Hello and welcome to part 2 of my 3-part mini-series, Why Humanity Needs a Total Heart, Mind, Body and Soul Makeover and What You Can Do About It. If you're listening to this or watching it on YouTube, you might want to click the link below the video and go to my webpage where you can read the article and see some of the images to illustrate what I'm talking about. And also, if you haven't seen part 1, and you haven't joined the Foundation for Creating a Mind with Heart, you might want to do that and get your free Heart Compass Owner's Manual, which we are going to talk about and demonstrate today. So my name is Alana Moss, and I'm the owner of Heart Compass Enterprises, the author of MetaPhysicsForLife.com, and the creator of the Foundation for Creating a Mind with Heart. And in part 1 of Why Humanity Needs a Total Heart, Mind, Body and Soul Makeover, I talked about some universal human problems that we're all experiencing today. The loss of our connection to nature, the disconnect between our own hearts and minds, and the resulting loss of divine inner guidance, and how we have forgotten who we really are. So as a result, many of us feel lost and alone, at least sometimes, but we look outside of ourselves for ways to reconnect and remember. And I talked about the true nature of our physical life experience, that everything that we experience in physical reality is actually a thought form that's being given substance by feeling in the mind. And I said that the body is a communications device. It's perceiving those thoughts and feelings that are being projected with the light of spirit coming from source through the blueprint of your soul and into the mind. The body then perceives and sends that information back to source through the gateway of your heart for correction. It's a lot like the way your eye sends information to your brain to be processed into a 3D physical image. Unless, of course, the gateway of the heart is closed, and then that feedback loop can't be completed. And when that happens, what we experience as our physical life is called the illusion of separation. It's a necessary first step for creating physical reality, but it's only the first step. When we experience physical life as separate from nature or God or each other, we feel loneliness, fear, anger, frustration, and grief. And then these are the feelings that will give substance to the thought forms in our mind and create our physical life experience. So now that we know a little bit about what's causing the problem, not something out there, but an error or an interruption in our perception, what can we do to correct it? Well, in part 1, I also talked about my own experience with post-traumatic stress disorder and the resulting feelings of extreme depression and even suicidal thoughts and behavior. Although my personal experience with PTSD was rather severe, the techniques that I have used to correct my perception can be applied to all aspects of everyday life. I realized that everyone has PTSD, because we all have memories that create feelings of fear, closing the gateway of the heart and interfering with that feedback loop that creates our physical life experience. Now, you might remember that I was studying law of attraction and attempting to apply those laws to heal my heart and my mind. What I discovered about law of attraction is that it's based upon belief in separation. After all, in order to attract something, first you have to be separate from it. Also, when the movie The Secret came out, I found that the emphasis on material wealth and finding a soulmate, well, it just didn't sit well with what my heart truly desired. So I went to sleep one night asking God or source of the universe to please show me a way to find and create the life that my heart desires, the perfect life or blueprint that's written in my soul. So I woke up with the Heart Compass Life Navigation System, and it was complete in my mind. I went out, I bought a few office supplies that I needed for the life navigation kit, and I started to use it. Long story short, I now live in a tiny house in the foothills of the Siskiyou Mountains in southern Oregon, doing work that I love. I'm surrounded by nature, and I have plenty of time for meditation, writing, and to just be. Now I'm going to demonstrate how I use the life navigation system, and I'm going to tell you where you can go to see some of the results that other people have experienced when I taught them how to use it too. The Heart Compass Life Navigation System is a 3-step process that you can use to identify the fear-based beliefs that are giving substance to the thought forms in your mind. Then access the heart for love-based truth to replace those fear-based beliefs. And you can test and install the love-based truth into your subconscious mind, where it remains on autopilot, creating the life that your heart truly desires. Now, identifying fear-based beliefs can require a bit of self-awareness and even some emotional intelligence, and you can learn more about that at my website. But for now, let me just give you an example of how I did this. So earlier this morning, I was feeling some doubt and anxiety about teaching and promoting my online course. So I sat down at my computer. I opened my Heart Compass Owner's Manual to page 26, the Life Navigators chart, and I started writing down what I was thinking. Now, your Heart Compass Owner's Manual is a gift when you join the Foundation for Creating a Mind with Heart, and joining is free. So if you haven't done that yet, you might want to stop, go get that Owner's Manual, and open to page 26 so you can follow along. Well, this is what the Life Navigators chart looks like when it's open on my computer. And on the virtual post-it notes that comes with the Windows 7 operating system that I have, I wrote down these thoughts. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to write a book, design permaculture landscapes, produce documentaries. I do not want to teach metaphysics anymore. Well, many of us have these fantasies about escaping from something that we either really don't want or from the stress caused by self-doubt, fears of failure, or even success. So how do I know that these are fear-based beliefs and not the truth? Well, because of how they make me feel. Fear-based beliefs are thoughts that create feelings of fear, anxiety, frustration, anger, despair, and so on. And these definitely did that for me. So now that I've identified some false fear-based beliefs, which I call FFBBs for short, it's time to access my heart for the love-based truth about those FFBBs. The first thing that we need to do so we can access the heart is to create something called heart coherence. Heart coherence is a term, and it was coined by the Institute of Heart Math, and it refers to a state of inner ease which results in an electromagnetic heart field that is coherent or free from stress and static. Years ago, before I knew about heart math and the electromagnetic field of the heart, I would simply create an inner state of peace and well-being by imagining the situation created by the FFBBs in my mind as being perfectly resolved. So this morning, I focused on my heart, took a nice deep breath, closed my eyes, and imagined myself as a published author. Saw myself designing permaculture landscapes for owners of tiny houses, because that's a passion of mine, and I saw myself interviewing interesting people for documentaries about positive environmental change, which I have done and I loved. Now, as I did this, I noticed a small smile came to my lips, and I was feeling very peaceful and happy. Once I achieved this state, I opened my eyes, looked at the post-it notes, and I asked my heart for the love-based truth about what I had written on them. Then I closed my eyes, took another deep breath, and got back into a coherent state by reimagining my perfect images and perfect resolution of the problem. Now, at this point, it's important to remain in heart coherence and just listen. The heart speaks in images and feelings. Those images and feelings are transmitted to your brain from the heart using both chemical and energetic signals. That's why the coherent state of the electromagnetic field of the heart is so important. It's sending information to your brain, and it has to be coherent so your brain can receive it. Your brain will then translate those signals into words for you. And when you hear those words, the next step is to write them down. So I did that, and here's what I heard, and it sounded kind of like a radio announcer in my head. Alana Moss, published author, permaculture specialist, and successful documentary producer, is here with us today to talk about her heart compass life navigation system and why humanity needs a total heart, mind, body, and soul makeover and what you can do about it. So I wrote those words down in Notepad, placing it on the on-course side of my Life Navigators chart, and read them out loud. And you can use physical 3x5 index cards and print the chart out if you prefer. Well, while reading them out loud, I noticed how those words felt to me. And at first, I protested. I'm not an author. I haven't even completed my permaculture certification yet. Well, when this happens, it's important to write those thoughts down as well on Post-it notes and put them on the off-course side of the chart with the rest of the FFBBs. And then it's time for round 2. So I decided to get up, wash some dishes, and mull it over a bit. Because for me, washing dishes, the warm, soapy running water, it gets me into a meditative state. You could take a walk or have a cup of tea or anything that works for you. So while doing the dishes, I asked my heart for the love-based truth about these new fear-based beliefs, and here's what I heard. The things that you say you want are all about doing. It's not the doing that matters, it's the being. Be creating, be giving, be connecting. Well, when I heard those words, I felt at peace. So I went back to my laptop and I wrote them down in my notepad and read them out loud. Excuse me. It felt very good, peaceful and happy and true. Now, when you feel those feelings, you know that you have a love-based truth. And now it's time to install that love-based truth into your subconscious mind and throw away the false fear-based beliefs. To do this, I simply save the love-based truth that I wrote in my notepad into a folder that I created on my laptop. And the fear-based beliefs? Well, I just delete the Post-it notes and they're gone. It's really important to do this because remember, the body is a communications device. I used my body to write down fear-based beliefs on Post-it notes, and I put them on the off-course side of my Life Navigators chart. This turns invisible thoughts into something that's tangible and you can see and touch. And then putting them on the chart tells the subconscious mind that these are off-course, and it starts to create a new pathway or habit in the brain. So in the future, fear-based beliefs will just go into the off-course side chart of your mind. Anyway, writing the love-based truth in Notepad and reading it out loud allows you to test it, so you can identify deeper fear-based beliefs and then confirm when you actually have a love-based truth. Filing it away tells the subconscious mind, keep this, and it forms a new habit, a new pathway in your brain. And you're done. Well, completing this session with the Life Navigation Kit and then moving forward into my day with gratitude for receiving that love-based truth from my heart, it frees up a lot of energy for accomplishing whatever it is that I then decide to do. And whatever I do is given substance with the feelings of creativity and giving and connecting with God and with others. So you want to know what kind of results other people have experienced? You can go to my website and join the Foundation for Creating a Mind with Heart, and you can see their stories there as well. Now, in part 3 of Why Humanity Needs a Total Heart, Mind, Body, and Soul Makeover and what you can do about it, I'm going to show you how I integrate the Heart Compass Life Navigation System with other heart-centered healing techniques to get faster, even stronger results. Over the years, I've studied and applied Law of Attraction, the healing codes, emotional freedom technique or tapping, Ho'oponopono prayer, the compassion key, and heart math techniques. Now, if I ever found something that was more effective or more powerful than creating a mind with heart with the Life Navigation System, I would have started teaching that instead. But what I found is that they work amazingly well together. The Life Navigation System seems to fill in the gaps. It makes any heart-centered healing technique more powerful, even the Law of Attraction, if it's heart-centered. So I'll see you in part 3 of Why Humanity Needs a Total Heart, Mind, Body, and Soul Makeover and what you can do about it. And thanks for being here. I'll see you then.